All right, boys and girls, today we're going to be making a Christmas card, and we're going to take it home next week. So we're going to start with a whiteboard, and we're going to practice on a whiteboard before we get the paper, because we're going to use a Sharpie today. So go ahead and pause the video now so that kindergarten can get their whiteboards, markers, and erasers. All right, guys, go ahead and open your markers. We're going to be making a present. It's going to go on the front of our Christmas card. So the first thing we're going to do, is we are going to be drawing the box. So we're going to draw the lid first. You know, a lid has to be bigger than the box. So what we're going to do is we're going to find the middle of our paper. Okay? That's where we're going to do the top of the lid. So right in that spot, we're going to kind of make a dot. Just a guiding dot. On that guiding dot, we're going to make a straight line that goes almost all the way to the sides of the board. Like that. And it's okay if it's not perfect. Okay, now on each side of that line, we're going to make two small lines that go down like that. And then we're going to go straight across. That is our lid. Now we're going to make the box. So the box is going to be not as wide as the lid because it has to be a little smaller for the lid to fit on it. All right, so on each side, go in just a little bit and then make a straight line almost to the bottom of your board. Same thing, I'm going to go in and down. Okay? Now I'm going to connect those at the bottom, and there is my box. Oh, please stop. Sorry, my son is here. He's helping me today. Okay, now what we're going to do is make the ribbon on the box, and then we're going to make a bow. Okay, so we're going to make the ribbon down here. So we're going to start on the lid, and I'm going to make two straight lines in the middle of the lid like that. Then on the box, I'm going to make two straight lines, but on the box, they're going to be it's going to be a little skinnier. So I'm going to go in from this line and straight down, in from this line and straight down. Okay, now we have our box. Now we're going to do our present. So right at the top middle of the box, we're going to make a rainbow-shaped U. Okay, now at the top of that U, I'm going to start there and I'm going to make a diagonal almost all the way to this top corner. So I'm going to start here, I'm going to go up, 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 and stop. Okay? Now at the top of that diagonal, I'm going to go straight down to touch the lid. Like that. Okay, that's one side of my bow. Now I'm going to go back to the top of my rainbow curve. I'm going to do a diagonal this corner now. Up, 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 and stop. Okay, now from the top of that diagonal, I'm going to go straight down to the lid. There's my bow. Now, on the bow, I'm going to make like wrinkles. You know how when you tie a bow, it kind of wrinkles up? Just to make it look a little more real. So on this side of my rainbow shape, inside of this half triangle, I'm just going to make two straight lines that go kind of out like that. And then same thing over here, I'm going to make two straight lines. All right, now we are going to decorate the box, not the ribbon. We're going to leave the ribbon alone. So we're going to be decorating these two side triangles and these two side triangles. And you can either do two things. You can do circles, like polka dots, like this. You see how I didn't do them in the middle or the ribbon? That's polka dots. Or you can do stripes. If you do stripes, this is what you're gonna do. Sorry, let me erase this. I'll probably use my finger. If you do stripes, we're gonna do them horizontal. That means this way. You're gonna do one in the middle here of each side, but not the middle there. And then you're just gonna make stripes that go down this way. The reason we're doing them horizontal sideways is because this ribbon goes up and down, and I don't want you to get your stripes of your box mixed up with the stripe of your ribbon. All right, now we're going to give it a ground to sit on. So on the sides of your box, you're going to draw a straight line from the box to the side of your board. All right, we are finished. Go ahead and put your lid on your marker. Make sure you hear it snap. Erase your boards. Put your boards, markers, and erasers away. And your teacher will pause the video now so that you can get a piece of paper and a Sharpie. All right, now you have a piece of paper and a Sharpie. Here's what I want you to do. Do not open the Sharpies yet. You're gonna take your paper and you are going to fold it in half. So you want the corners to touch, and you're gonna press really hard, okay? Because it's thick paper. Don't worry about your names and your numbers. We will do those at the end. Make sure your card opens to the right like a book. If it doesn't, it is okay. All right, we're gonna start. Go ahead and get your Sharpie, open it up. Now, find the middle, keep your paper folded, find the middle. Put a guiding dot there. Okay, now in that space, we're gonna draw a straight line from this side to this side. So I'm gonna start over here, I'm gonna touch the dot, oh, kind of missed it, and all the way over like that. Okay, now on each side, you're just gonna go down a little bit like this. Okay, now line straight across to make them touch. Okay, now listen carefully. We want our box smaller than the lid. So we're gonna go in just a little bit on each side and then go straight down almost to the bottom. In just a little bit, straight down. Okay, now I'm gonna go straight across the bottom. Now we have our box. Now we're gonna make our ribbon that's on the box. So the lid ribbon's gonna be a little bit wider. So I'm gonna make 2 straight lines and they're kind of wide and I want them to look like it's in the middle, okay? Now underneath it, I'm gonna go in a little bit and then make 2 straight lines that kind of are inside of those. Okay, now we're gonna do our ribbon. So right here in the top middle, we're gonna make a rainbow curve. You can make it as big as you want. Okay, now at the top middle of that rainbow curve, I'm gonna start there. I'm gonna go almost to this corner with a diagonal like that. And at the top of that diagonal, I'm gonna go straight down to the lid. Okay, then go back to the top middle. This time my diagonal is gonna go to this corner. And then straight down to the top of the lid. All right, now let's make our bow look a little bit more real. So on the side of this rainbow curve, I'm gonna do 2 diagonals that kind of go up on that side, and then I'm gonna do 2 diagonals on this side. Now you decide if you wanna do stripes or polka dots. Remember, we're only decorating these 2 sides of the box and these 2 sides. We are not decorating this middle or this one or the ribbon. You have to pay attention. I'm gonna do polka dots. So I'm gonna start over here. I'm gonna do some polka dots in this space. I'm gonna go over here and do some polka dots over here. Okay, now I'm gonna do these 2 sides. If you're not sure where to put your decorations, ask your teacher. I'd rather you ask or ask somebody around you. But if you do mess up, it's okay. All right, now I'm done decorating my box. I'm gonna give it a ground because it doesn't have the ground right now. So find a spot on the side, draw a straight line all the way to the edge. Find a spot on the side, draw a straight line to the edge. When you get done with all of this, you are finished with the Sharpie, okay? Pause the video if you need some time to finish that. Now we're going to do where we color with markers. I'm not sure if we have done this yet together, but it is fun. Or we're gonna paint with markers, I'm sorry. We're not actually coloring today. This is what you're gonna be doing. You're gonna be outlining. So I'm gonna decide what color I want my bow and get me a color. We're gonna start with the bow. And then instead of coloring the whole thing orange, I'm gonna do a thick outline on the inside of my bow. Do you see how thick that is? We don't want it like this right here, okay? We want to make it thick. I'm going to do both sides the same. And I'm also going to do the middle part the same. And then I know the ribbon should be the same color as the bow. So I'm going to outline this middle rectangle and this long middle rectangle. Okay, I'm gonna let you pause the video to catch up and make sure you get those parts colored. We want all of those parts one color, and you get to choose whatever color you want. Okay, now I did polka dots, but if you did stripes, you're gonna do your stripes, whatever color you want. I am going to outline my polka dots with one color. I'm gonna do all of them blue. Now you want to use dark colors on this sort of thing. The darker the colors, the better they bleed. Now, they're kind of like the tissue paper. When you get them wet, they the color comes out. Now, I'm gonna outline the insides of my present. This is gonna be a little tricky because my polka dots get in the way just a little bit, but that's okay. I'm gonna use the dark pink. Dark pink works good. And I'm just gonna kind of outline where those polka dots are. If you did stripes, you may wanna do every other stripe of color. You do it how you want it. It's up to you. Okay? And I'm done. Now I want to do the ground too. So for the ground, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just outline the ground where it's kind of around my present, like this, and even maybe around the edges of the paper, kind of like that. All right, if you need to pause it there to catch up, you can. Okay, now we're done with the markers. Once we have the whole present colored, we are finished with the markers. Now what you're going to do is you are going to get a paintbrush. You're going to get a paintbrush and you're going to dip it in the water, okay? When it's wet, you're going to get your marker wet and it's going to bleed. The color's going to come out and you're actually going to be able to paint with the markers. Now you want to do one color at a time. I don't want to go over the whole thing because it'll all mix. So I'm just doing orange right now, and I'm going to do all the bow and the ribbon on the present. Now you do need to use water, but you don't want so much water you have puddles. You're kind of scratching it a little bit. When you scratch it, that color will bleed. Okay, and you're going to do the same thing with the present. So I'm just going to be real easy about this blue because I don't want it to bleed into the pink. If it does, it's okay. If your colors mix, it is okay. So I'm not going to get a lot of paint when I do the decorations because I don't want to make a puddle, or a lot of water. I don't want to make a puddle. And you're going to keep going. Keep going. It's beautiful, Oakley. All right. Now I've done all my decorations. Now I'm going to do the box the same way. So I'm going to just kind of pull this red to the middle, and since it's gonna mix with the blue a little bit, that's okay. Oh, it's mixing a lot. That's okay. It looks kind of cool even when it mixes. You're gonna have a little paintbrush. Shh, listen. You're gonna have a little paintbrush, so it should be a little bit easier to get these small spaces. Take your time. You're gonna also do the lids on this side, and you're gonna do the ground the same way like that. Shh. Okay? All right. When you're finished, clean your brush, put it away. We're gonna let these dry. Make sure you write your name on the back. If it's got a puddle on it, blow on it for a minute until the puddle dries. You wanna flip the whole thing over. Don't write in the middle of your card. We're gonna write in these next week and take them home next week. All right, have fun. If you have any questions, ask your teacher. She should be able to help you. If you get done, we're gonna put them on the drawing rack, and then you can get a whiteboard marker and eraser, and you can draw for the rest of class. All right, bye guys.